Hi folks, hope you are well. Today I'm going to have a look at this beautiful kit that I just got to my mailbox. I literally just got home, cleaned my workbench, so it's, well, a little bit tighter than usual. I'm just in the middle of building another kit, but that's a video for another day. So I clear my workbench so I can make this video as soon as I can, because this is hot off the press, as they say. Quite a new thing, limited edition Mi-35, which is modernized Mi-24. The Hind, a very popular and very much recognizable helicopter. It is in the very special, one-of-a-kind alien livery. It is called Tiger 3366 here, and this is because the registration of this helicopter is 3366, and it was from the Tiger meet. Unfortunately, Eduard, from what I gathered, they didn't really want to put alien on the box simply because it is copyrighted, it's trademark, right? So especially in conjunction with this livery that really resembles the alien franchise H.R. Geiger, it makes sense that they did not want to get into any kind of trouble for this limited edition kit. So this kit actually has a couple of interesting stories behind it, and I'm going to tell you those stories. I'm going to, of course, open the box, show you exactly what's inside. There should be a booklet which will, or book, they say book, it's probably a booklet. I'm going to show you exactly what's inside the booklet as well, so you can have a peek. There should be some interesting and fascinating things. Now, I'm not sponsored by Eduard or anyone, so all the opinions here are going to be completely my own. So yeah, let's start. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get in there. First of all, I need to say that this box inside, the plastic in there, is actually from Zvezda, which might be a little bit controversial because, you know, Zvezda, they're from Russia. They are currently in a war with Ukraine. You know, things are what they are, right? But the reason why Eduard actually packed Zvezda plastic sprues in there is because they had them in stock from before that war. Basically what happened previously, and Eduard does this until now, they're actually going to release a couple of these repackaged sprues from other manufacturers this year as well. What they do, they purchase those kits so they don't have to make molds for those planes that they really want to sell and make really beautiful liveries and decals. So they actually purchased sprues or plastic from Zvezda for the Mi-24s, Mi-35s. They actually released, I think, was two different limited editions, and they still had some left over, right? So what are they going to do with that? They were really thinking about it for quite a while. They cut all the ties with Zvezda. They are not purchasing from them anymore until the situation is resolved. And they actually have a very strong stance of doing pretty much anything Russian. If this was a Russian livery, I'm sure that 100% they would not manufacture this kit. However, because it is Czech, and actually, fun fact, this particular aircraft currently flies on the Ukraine side in Ukraine. So they decided, okay, let's do this. Now, as you can see, this is not going to be a very easy kit to assemble. So what Eduard actually did, or they did, why it took so long, they weren't sure if this is going to be something worthwhile, is they pretty much unwrapped the whole helicopter. They had a guy who, another fun fact, was actual technician, from what I heard, technician on this helicopter, and he painstakingly repainted every single piece and made the decals out of that. We're going to have a look inside on how these decals turned out. So that took a while. Of course, they did have to look at the technological process on how to actually make those decals. They actually wanted to include rivets on top, and it's a little bit unfortunate. They actually We're advertising that those rivets are going to be on top of the decals, so you are going to only put the decal on the plane or on the helicopter. Unfortunately, that didn't come to pass. They realized that that's not feasible, while the sample print was looking fine and worked well, and they had a very high error rates on those, and it took, I think they said, about 40 minutes just to print those rivets on decals, and half of them were not usable, and it was taking away the manufacturing capacity for other projects as well. So they decided, okay, let's do it differently. Let's do rivets on a side and let's do decals on the other one. So that's what we're going to see inside. Now, about this particular helicopter, it is from the Tiger meet in Zaragoza. It's where NATO units that have tigers in their emblems, they meet, and basically they have a little friendly competition between each other where they're competing for the best livery and some other kind of the prizes. I'm not sure if like they have also some other symbols or some other ways how they can excel there. But in 2016, Czech Republic actually created this beautiful livery out of one of their helicopters, and they sent it out to Zaragoza, and this helicopter won the title of the best livery back then. And it used to fly in those colors for a very long time. It was actually, from what I heard, it was renewed a couple of times, or maybe at least one, so it was supposed to go back to the original colors. That didn't happen because it was like, as you can see, it is one of the kind, right? It looks absolutely stunning. Hinds on their own, they look very menacing, but this one takes a cake. I think this is the most menacing Hind that I actually seen. So they won that. The helicopter was flying for a long time. Now it's back in different original colors, army colors, and it's actually flying in Ukraine. So 7 minutes of my rambling and backstories. So let's have a look into the kit, shall we? Well, first of all, what I see here, and it's another issue, you can see even on the camera, it's going to be visible that this is a little bit darker. That's because it is a sticker on top of the box. Nato Tiger means Zaragoza 2016. And I was watching very carefully on how this kit is being manufactured on Eduard's Facebook and website, and it was actually pointed out that there was a typo. It said Nato Tiger means Zaragoza 2017. So not only typo in the Zaragoza, the city's name, but also typo in the date, and I believe I can show you the exact typo here as well. They did not provide any sticker up here. I think it actually, yeah, anywhere on the side of the box you will see this typo, unfortunately. I sort of wish that they would have replaced these or at least provided stickers for these as well. I don't mind the sticker. I don't need them really reprint the whole thing, which I believe they printed everything and only then they noticed they have a typo. That's why on top of the box they do have it here, but I wish it was corrected. Now this kit wasn't cheap, right? It was 3,366 Czech crowns, which I think is reaching up to like $170 US. So for kit of this size, this is really expensive, and every little detail counts. So that's already point down, unfortunately. But let's finally open it. Here you can see we have those sprues. They should be pretty much identical from those ones that were in the original Hinds that were repacked by Eduard. These are just really leftovers. They're nice and clear, but not really secure. Yeah, there might be, if I let's make it, yeah, there might be tiny bit scratched, but that's okay. I actually don't mind that. That can be fixed quite easily. Now, if you look at the fuselage, here we have two halves. You won't see those rivets, right? Helicopters tend to have raised rivets outside of, unlike aircraft, which tend to have embossed ones, from what I noticed in these kits, but this one has no rivets at all. So that's why Eduard is also providing the rivet sheet. Now, here we do have some insides, engine cowls. This looks fine. It is nice plastic, I have to say. It's just, it might be missing a bit of details. I might actually buy some aftermarket kits for cockpit, etc. Right, here's a cockpit underside. This is going to be where the cockpit is. Yeah, it's not bad. It's nothing special. From what I heard, Zvezda kit is probably the most accurate Mi-24, Mi-35, whatever you decide to call it, on the market. So we're getting the best thing that you can get. But one would almost hope Eduard would create their own kit. That would be something really, really cool to see. And here we do have some armaments at the bottom, right? So yeah, these look all fine. These look quite easy to assemble. We also do have a bonus of brass and wheels and some other bobs and bits. I'm not sure what this thing is, but it's there. We'll see. We'll find it one day when we're building it, right? And here we're finally getting to those booklets. So let me start actually with the booklet that actually shows you or walks you through the history a bit. I am a bit surprised that this is only in Czech. I actually opened a box before just to unpack it, so I don't have to work with a plastic bag, and I couldn't wait to have a peek. There are some interesting things in there, but it's only in Czech. So if you speak Czech, feel free to pause and read through it. Here you do have a list of those concepts that they were thinking of when they were preparing for the Tiger meet. These are also really cool. I really like the winter one. The Fire Tiger, well, it's less detailed, but it's interesting. It would be interesting and unmissable helicopter for sure. But I think out of these, the Alien is 100% the best. So if there's actually one more concept I really like that didn't come to fruition, is going to be at the end. And here you can see the original designs and concepts. It's really cool. Here you have some emblems. They were also designing those. Those are really cool. Now some photos of the actual real thing, how it was spray painted. Yeah, this is really cool. This is only for the reference. This is going to be excellent. Yeah, here's something about the life of the alien, where it was, what it was doing. Some cool pictures. I like this one. This is really nice picture here. Here you can see the regular camo, and here in the back is actually one from Tiger Meat from not sure which year, but it's also really cool concept or cool livery. And here's the concept I was talking about. They sort of wanted to make kind of Terminator / Alien as a second one, which didn't work. They actually made this the blue-ish with the tiger tail. So yeah, that's the book. There's the book. This is going to be really valuable for anyone building it, just for references. And here we are coming to instruction sheet. This one is going to be probably a doozy. And again, I had a bit of peek, and I can already see that this is not kit for me as a beginner. I'm going to have to wait quite a while before I'm confident that I'll be able to do this. So you do have Now this luckily is in English as well, but you do have some tips and tricks for rivets, for decals, for mixing the colors. It looks like their guns or Mr. Color actually doesn't have these colors at all, so you have to mix a minimum of 3 percentage wise. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Of course the decals are going to be tough. You actually have to cut out sides, and actually they are correcting something. They do have there are 2 different number 11 decals. The part for completion, the name alien and the port side of tail should be number 119, so that's one correction. The part for port side of the front windshield frame and lags, it's 87, it's this part. So yeah, they had a couple of errors. They caught them. They let you know up here, so you just have to be a bit careful. But you know, it's nice that they managed to catch it and provide a correction right in the box. So here is the manual, nothing special, doing the cockpit, right? It is giving you all the colors. I was a bit afraid, or every time I see this repacked plastic from other manufacturers, the manuals, they actually tend to vary in quality, and I think I've seen 1 or 2, and I don't want to, maybe I've seen it incorrectly, but I think it was the case where Eduard just took their instructions, and they weren't something I'm used to from building 3 Eduard kits. So this looks like Eduard kit. I really like that, and you can see that there are some important notes. It's recommended to apply appropriate decals. So it is calling out those things, those steps you have to take in order to build this one successfully. I don't think any other Hinds, they actually are going to have such detailed instructions, simply because the order in which you build it, sometimes you do have to apply decals per hand, right? So these notes are making sure that they call out those parts. Now here you have maskings. I think the masks are only from outside. They are going to be below there. So we are not getting two-faced masks, but that is okay. And of course stencils. Doesn't look like there's too many stencils, luckily. I think most of them are going to be embedded right in decals, so no need for really tiny stencils on top of that. And here, this is going to be, this is daunting. This is going to be fun, but it is daunting. It's showing you exactly the rivets where they should be placed, and then you have decals, right? And it's again calling out which parts are actually very tricky. They give you some spare parts there as well. Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult process of applying decals. Now, what else do we get in a kit? We do have 3 photo etch kits, so these are really cool quality as always from Eduard. Here is something just for the seat belts. Let me see what's the third one. I think it's going to be inside of the engine or something like that. Yeah. I don't know the names of these bits and bobs, but looks like that's just to give some extra detail. I only started using photo etch some time ago, or a couple of weeks ago actually, and I like working with them, so this is going to be really neat. And here we do have that mask. Again, you probably don't see those cutouts that much, but it looks like we're getting only one side, which again is fine. And now we're getting to the start of the show and to the end of the video, because I'm rambling for too long. Use this template to cut each segment of rivets. Now this is going to be crazy. You basically need to, yeah, they did not give you any guiding lines directly on the rivet sheet. I actually won't even open it, because I'm afraid I would screw it up just by opening it and looking at it. So I'm not going to do that, but basically you cut out these pieces based on the template. So this is going to be something else. It is not going to be easy. Those rivets are I thought they're going to be a little bit more pronounced, but maybe because they're below two layers, they're below another paper and of course the plastic. And here you have Alien in its full glory, and I think I do have to open it. If I screw it up, I screw it up. I actually, last time I was opening one of these, this plastic cover actually got attached to one of the decal sheets and destroyed the varnish on top, which wasn't nice, but luckily it was for markings I didn't want to use at all. And here we are. Wow, these are something else. This is not going to be easy. It's not so many of them, to be honest. I thought it was going to be more, or it actually looked like it was going to be more, but yeah, this is precious. It is not. It is going to be difficult. First, you do have to do the rivets and then put these on top, which again, I was sort of hoping that that's not going to be the case, and then I'll manage to print the rivets on top. But hey, that's life. No, it's okay. I wish they would have let everyone know sooner, and I wish there was maybe something like, you know, hey, here's a extra couple of Brazil parts just for the inconvenience, because we've advertised that you are going to get these rivets on top of that, but we couldn't make that happen. But on the other hand, this is such a cool kit. No one else made it before, I think. And I don't think anyone will in a very long time. So if you're lucky and you pre-order this, by the way, I think on this, there's only about there is only 1,000 of them in the world. About 700 were pre-ordered, about 300 were distributed to resellers, shop owners, and distributors. So if you ever seen it in the wild, this is going to be a collector's piece for sure. And if you build it, and I'm going to try to build it, if you build it, you're going to have one of the kind kit on your hands. So that's the overview. Let me just put it here. I'll carefully slide it in there after I turn off the camera, because that's probably the most expensive part of this kit. Yeah, this is a really great kit. Not for now. I'm not going to build it now because I simply don't have enough experience to do it justice. So I'm going to keep it in a corner for some time. Give it a couple of months. I'll build a couple of other models in between, and then I will reopen the topic of building the Alien, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun. So that's it. That's the overview of the Tiger 3366 kit from Eduard. Tell me what you think. Is this something you would build yourself right away, or would you wait? Anyways, thank you for watching. If you made it up here, please subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps. Small channel, trying to get my word out there. I have nothing out of this. This is my hobby. I'm not getting any sponsorships. I'm not getting monetized or anything. So, you know, it's just seeing a couple of folks give me thumbs up and comment and subscribe. You know, that makes my day, and that's all I need for now. So do that if you like the video, if you came up here. If you didn't, that is completely fine. Have a wonderful evening, morning, whatever you're having, and I will come back to you with some more builds and more beautiful kits.